You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
When you think about Stallone, you will undoubtedly think about Rambo or Rocky. What's crazy about these franchises is that Rocky was first released in 1976 and First Blood was released in 1982. This means that the veteran actor has literally been entertaining us for over 4 decades. As an action star, not many teachers will praise Sly for his acting, screenwriting, or directing. But if you really think about it, there aren't many people like Stallone that have lasted and remained relevant for so long. This is the third video in a retrospective look on Sylvester Stallone. The first video focused on his early life and career in the 70s, whereas the second video focused on his career in the 80s and 90s. In this video, as you've probably guessed, we'll be focusing on Stallone from the 2000s to current times. Even though the big heyday of action films was starting to wither, Stallone started the 2000s by acting in the movie Get Carter, which is a remake of the 1971 movie of the same name. The movie tells the story of Jack Carter, a mob enforcer living in Las Vegas, played by Stallone. He returns to his hometown in Seattle after hearing that his brother was killed in a supposed drunk driving accident. Once there, things seem kind of fishy, and he goes on an investigation in order to find the true reason for his brother's death. This movie was a flop at the box office, earning only $19 million at the box office compared to a $64 million budget. In 2001, he starred in the movie Driven, which was written, produced, and starring Stallone. The story centers on a young racing driver who is struggling in an effort to win the Kart FedEx Championship Series Auto Racing Championship. During that time, a former kart champion comes to the rescue to give him guidance. This was yet another failure for Stallone, which led to 2 more failures in the movies Avenging Angelo and Detox. The scary thing about having so many flops back to back in Hollywood is that it doesn't forgive very easily. This means that if 1 or 2 movies flop, usually agents, producers, and the studios start deeming the actor unbankable. Even though Stallone was on the decline in box office returns, he did act in the 2003 movie Spy Kids 3D, Game Over, which is the 3rd installment in the series. In this movie, he took on the role of the villain, called the Toymaker, who has designed a new virtual reality game trapping the Spy Kids inside it. This movie is definitely catered to kids and has so much cheesy virtual reality 3D effects, but was a box office hit. It is in that same time period that he did a small cameo role in the 2003 French movie entitled Taxi 3, which was a very popular movie series that actually has 5 films in France, and a loose American remake with Queen Latifah, also entitled Taxi. His small cameo is really fun, and is in the real beginning of the film where Stallone is being chased by a gang of rollerbladers, and Stallone catches a ride with a local Marseille taxi. He soon finds out, actually really fast finds out, that the taxi driver is in love with speedy driving. The movie in itself isn't too good, but his cameo part remains fun to watch. Again, going back to the fact that all his movies were flopping, Stallone was having a hard time finding bigger box office movies to act in. So in 2006, and obviously knowing that nostalgia plays a big factor in audiences' eyes, Sylvester went back to his roots to portray Rocky Balboa in the 6th Rocky movie. This movie was again written, directed, and acted by him. It was a critical success, especially due to his performance. Thanks to this success, he was able to make a 4th movie for his other successful franchise, Rambo. The 2008 sequel was actually entitled Rambo. This installment is set in Thailand and much more bloody and violent than its predecessors, and shows an aging John Rambo who joins a group of mercenaries who venture into war-torn Burma to rescue a Christian worker aid group who were kidnapped by a ruthless infantry unit. With a budget of $50 million, it earned him $113,244,290 worldwide, which definitely showed that Stallone still had it in him to be a leading man in a box office hit. In 2010, Stallone started another franchise called The Expendables, which tells the story of an elite group of mercenaries tasked with a mission to overthrow a Latin American dictator whom they discover to simply be a pawn to a ruthless ex-CIA agent. Even though the movie lacks an intricate storyline, The Expendables is an homage to the 80s and 90s action flicks and packs a huge cast of action stars from the past, including Sylvester Stallone, Dolph Lundgren, Terry Crews, Mickey Rourke, and even a small cameo from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Since this movie was a big box office success, 2 more sequels followed, and there are talks to do 1 more. Even though knowing Stallone, he'll probably try to make as many of these as possible. Well, in 2013, Stallone actually did a sort of dream movie co-starring with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the action thriller Escape Plan. Even though Schwarzenegger and Stallone play in the Expendables movies together, having a true movie where both actors star in is something that fans have been waiting for since the 80s. The movie tells the story of Ray Breslin, a structural engineer who is incarcerated in the world's most secret and secure prison. Thanks to the help of Emil Rottmeier, played by Schwarzenegger, they figure out a way to escape. Again, Stallone being a businessman, he managed to make Escape Plan into a film series and made 2 more sequels. In 2015, Stallone reprised his role of Rocky Balboa in a spin-off sequel entitled Creed, which focuses on Donnie Creed, the son of his deceased rival and friend Apollo Creed. We can't forget that Stallone was 69 at the time that this movie was released, and therefore having Stallone play a boxer simply didn't make sense anymore. By giving the starring role to a younger person and playing his trainer, Stallone gave himself the opportunity to revisit his first franchise. This movie earned him a Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actor. Creed has 1 more sequel to it that was released in 2018, and once again, I'm pretty sure there will be a 3rd one. And now Stallone is even talking about possibly doing another Rocky and has been trying to get a Rocky series launched where it would talk about a sort of origin story. He wouldn't be playing the lead character, but knowing Stallone, he'd probably find a way to direct, write, or even cameo in it somehow. In 2018, Sylvester Stallone formed a film studio named Balboa Production with Braden Aftergood in March 2018. Stallone serves as co-producer for each of their projects. This led to Rambo: Last Blood beginning filming in September 2018 with a release in 2019. The film did okay, making $91 million worldwide for a $50 million budget. For people looking at numbers, making almost double the budget seems like a success, but often movies need to make 2 to 3 times their budget in order to be considered a real success. From the Rocky franchise to the Rambo franchise, followed by the Expendables, Escape Plan, and Creed franchise, we can tell that Stallone is a really good businessman and certainly knows how to make the best out of a successful movie. From the 80s to the 90s and early 2000s, we saw Sylvester Stallone taking on many different roles where he was offered starring roles, but I think with a string of flops in the early 2000s, Stallone understood that maybe his best bet at staying at the top of the box office was to stay within the confines of his successful movie franchises and to take on the reins directing and writing characters that fit him best. In 2020, the action star is 74 years old and seems to have many more sequels and projects in the works. I cannot wait to see what the future brings to him, and I really hope that he keeps on creating many more action-packed films. Thank you for watching, and please be sure to subscribe or hit the like button. Leave me a comment too. It takes many hours of research in order to get these videos planned, filmed, and edited. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.